When drawing the mouth, we need to consider drawing the center line of the mouth, looking at where the edges are from the top lip, looking at the V in the alignment of the philtrum, which is that segment between the nose and mouth. Then looking at the volume of the top lip, looking at that V from the center towards the creases, and then concluding the bottom lip, which you always need to remember not to conclude the bottom lip line from edge of the mouth to edge of the mouth. That line we will build up with tonal value. If, for example, we look at a different pose of the mouth, we can see that the angle is slightly tilted to our right, so we'll see less of the mouth on the left. But again, we build up from philtrum, the V of the top lip, to the edge of the crease of the mouth, to the other crease, building up the center volume of the top lip, looking at the volume from the top lip, moving downwards towards the bottom lip, and again, very importantly, not to conclude that bottom line of the bottom lip to the top lip and the crease of the mouth. In most instances, the mouths do differ and lips do differ of every single person. That is why it is very important to observe the mouth, especially in terms of thickness of top lip and bottom lip and volume from one mouth to the other. But again, in this instance, we see far less of the left side of the face because of the angle. But again, the same principle accounts of drawing top lip, V from the top lip to the creases to the volume of the top lip down to the bottom lip. In this instance, there's a good example of how the mouth differs, where the top lip is far narrower in volume than the bottom lip. But again, the principle abides by drawing the philtrum first, then moving down to the top lip, looking at that V of the top lip, moving towards the edges, back towards the center, and the bottom lip and volume. Looking at different drawings of the mouth, in this instance looking at the top lip, V, edge, creases, and again the bottom lip, not concluding towards the top lip, we just indicate a small hint at the bottom towards where the chin will be. A mouth on the side, we look at again looking at the philtrum, a sharp crease towards the edge, bottom lip pulling in slightly closer than the furthest point. On a different angle, less of the volume on the furthest point on the left of the mouth, more on the right hand side, and the volume towards the bottom lip that again does not conclude to the top. A different angle again, looking at the philtrum, down towards the top part of the lip where the V is, concluding it towards the edge, having it slightly open where the teeth will come in, angle towards the bottom lip, center crease of that bottom volume of the lip towards the angle to the chin. A different angle again of the mouth, looking at the crease towards the edge, again opening it up for the teeth to come in, bottom lip volume and angle, pulling up slightly less of a volume of this mouth, but again the crease towards the chin. What is very important when we need to look at the mouth again is looking at the volume of each lip. In this instance, we can see that the furthest point on the mouth, we could see slightly more volume on the top lip on the furthest crease than that of the one on the right. But again, looking at our top and bottom volume, slightly more open to include the teeth. In this instance, we have the top lip on broader volumes towards the edges, towards where the bottom lip will come in, also not concluding it, but again looking at how we can include the teeth in this instance to have an opening towards the bottom lip. Again, with the mouth pulling to the side, we can have a sharper pull towards the bottom part of the crease of the mouth to include where the teeth will come in, and even in this instance have a smaller and shorter bottom lip. Pulling to the side, again, sharper creases of the mouth towards the edge and bottom lip. Again, when we need to look at building tonal values, it is very important that you always need to remember the top lip is always darker than the bottom lip of the mouth. The tonal values you will build in at the bottom part of the lip that will conclude back into the creases of the mouth, because there's a slight highlight between bottom lip and the volume of the bottom lip where there's a highlight, and that is why we will build in the tonal value on the edges to pull towards the edge creases of the mouth, not to conclude the line work as it will from edge to edge, but rather building it up in tonal value. Again, looking at an angle to the side, we can build up teeth from top lip to bottom lip, distance in between to have an opening, and having the line work conclude towards the chin. Again, different angle over here, sharper pull of the mouth moving towards the creases, and a faint hint of the bottom lip. Again, looking at elderly people or people with sharper creases of cheekbone and cheek flesh towards the mouth. Here to indicate a mouth that is slightly smiling again, putting then the volume of the top lip slightly less than what it normally would have been because the mouth pulls to the sides as the person would smile. And again, that abides to the bottom lip as well, and including teeth for a smile. Different angle, looking at the top lip and the bottom lip in more of a bigger volume, but then we can crease the mouth slightly more on an edge to give a slight grin, if you will. A different angle again, when the mouth pulls up to the side, to the top, you have different emotional attributes we can apply to. So each time we change the angle and volume of the mouth, we need to consider what the emotion is of the person we are drawing, or even that of a character, even if the mouth is slightly tilted to the side. So as eyes are very adequate of expressing emotion, as is the mouth, and the volumes will differ according to if someone is angry, happy, sad, because the volumes will change accordingly to the emotion. Now, drawing the mouth in full, we look at top lip and bottom lip again, starting with the V, edges to the creases of the mouth, volume to the center point of the mouth, looking at the volume pulling towards the edges. And again, you can see that we pull the bottom lip not towards the edges, but leaving a slight gap, as that we will build a tonal value from the bottom part of the lip towards the volume of the lip, so that there's adequate highlight being shown. Now I'm going to start to build up the tonal value of the lips, and you will see that again, building up different directions of line work, build up volume and contour more adequately in terms of roundness of shape, in terms of bottom lip, top lip, and contour around the philtrum and creases of the mouth. But again, remember here, as I will conclude this segment here, top lip is always darker than the bottom lip. Remember not to pull the lines to the creases of the mouth, but indicate a faint line at the bottom where you will build up tonal value that will relate towards the bend of the chin, and you will build contour lines in terms of different directional lines for the volume building around the volume of the bottom lip and top lip in relation to highlights and where your light source comes from. So let's see here how the tonal value builds up.